Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at the short story The Voice in the Night by William Hope Hodgson that was published in 1906. William Hope Hodgson was a big name, a guy who's wrote a lot of stuff during his time during the pulp era. And he when he died, it made the news, in fact. And I actually ordered a collection of his things a long time ago, about 20 years ago, and rented it as soon as it arrived on Amazon. But I've since lost it when I was moving. And I always wanted to go back and buy it again and read it for this channel. And so this short story is in this collection that we've been doing a deep dive into Evil Roots of Killer Tales, so the Botanical Gothic, which is and this story is the next short story in it. So now I've read it twice. I read it last night in about 23 minutes when I was taking a bath. That was very, very nice, very fast, very well paced, very nice description stuff, nice things that were happening, nice fleshed out, and so the key kind of concept of the story is that our main character is the captain of a boat, and he is sailing in the Pacific, and he comes across a guy who is from a raft, who comes from a nearby island that's not on any maps, and he asks for some food for him and the woman that are on the island that's nearby, and he does, and then he begins, after about 2 or 3 pages into this short story, it's about 17 pages long, he starts to tell the story of what happened to himself and his wife. And so the rest of it is going to be dialogue and a conversation between our captain, the point of view character, and the guy who went through this shipwreck, and now him and his fiance are now stranded on a tropical island that's uncharted. So that's basically what's going to be happening, and we're going to be following them through. So this is a horror short story, I like it. I'm giving it a 7+, like a 7.2 or 7.3 that I'm rounding down to a 7. It's definitely well written, but the dialogue-ish parts can make it feel a little overly, one-pointed, one-sided, that sort of thing. It's very easy to dismiss, which I'm sure you want to do as a neutral observer. And so, so I definitely like what Hodgson did in choosing it, but the dialogue aspects can take over the story at times. And so you're sometimes spending more time on what language is being used and that sort of thing, rather than on the description itself. So it's only a 7+ out of 10. But again, it's well written. It's definitely enrapturing. I knocked it out very, very quickly. I never looked up. I never looked at my clock. I just knocked it out. So it's definitely some good stuff. I've now read it twice. The second time, about 20 years after the first time. It's online, so I'll link it to you online as well as to this collection. As a reminder, we've been doing a deep dive into this collection and other horror stories with a plant-based aspect based on a video that I saw on YouTube by a PBS sub-channel called Monstrum on living animals, and they had a deep dive into it's about, which I'll link to you also in the comments below. And they did a deep dive into some of the different ideas in history and so forth of where the horror-ridden aspects came from. And the first one was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The American's Tale, which is in his collection. I found it online, I read it, knocked it out. The next short story was The Man-Eating Tree, not in this collection. I knocked it out online, found it. The third short story, Louise H. Hooper's short story, was not anywhere online, but it was republished in this collection. It's pretty rare. So I found it, picked it up, and read it. And now I've just been doing a deep dive into things that were written here. A lot of the names in this collection are big names to people, horror writers like M.R. James and Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and War of the Worlds' writers, H.G. Wells, as I mentioned already, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote Sherlock Holmes. So there's Nathaniel Hawthorne is in this collection, Ambrose Bierce is in this collection. A lot of people have written horror short stories that are interconnected with the botanical. So we've been doing a deep dive for you folks, and then we'll do the next short story today. While I'm again I'll try to do it on the phone because I dropped my book in the bath, and so now it's all soaked. So I've been reading the last few online. It's fine. So I'll try to find the next one. So anyway, Then, as a reminder, the name of this channel, The Worst Thing About New Books, comes from a famous quote by Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And so a short story that's written more than 100 years ago in this case is definitely older. So I like to go back and reread a lot of these older classics or forgotten people that were popular during their era, but haven't been today, and so forth. So these are things that I definitely am very passionate about bringing it to you. So if you like this review, why not hit that subscribe button? There should be a lot more of these to follow. And then I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.